Welcome, nerds and nerdettes, to Recap Thursday, the show where me and Captain Legs go over everything that happened in our Sunday Night RPG session. We didn't meet last week.
No, because I was traveling with. Oh, she's such a mess now. I was traveling with this lovely lady. Her name is Tatsumaki. She's gorgeous.
The cosplay turned out amazing from the pictures. I do have to say so myself.
Yeah, I got my photos from the photo shoot back as well, so those will be going up soon. I'm so excited.
Stay tuned to Captain Leg's Facebook channel because it was spot on. All right. So Fan Expo was there that weekend. You had a wonderful time from all reports. So yes. that's fantastic.
And I brought Sanka back a little something. You can show it
the
now
Dark
or
Elusive.
later.
Yeah, no, it's just in the corner. I had to keep it away from myself because I just sit here just swinging around.
You should mount it behind you with.
Oh yeah, just a little. Yeah, I should. But yeah, no. So we didn't meet. We didn't do Recap Thursday either, just because we already knew that we weren't meeting on Sunday, and we like to keep Recap as close to an actual session, so it does serve as a proper refresher for you guys. So with all of that being said, this coming Sunday, we left off, and we had we were sampling the different types of beer in beer country of Raynor. At the Shattered Pint, an inn in Raynor. And so it was basically, we had just finished that. We were calling it a night. And the next morning, the party awakes, heads downstairs, meets up, has breakfast. Everything's pretty good until a strange, odd-looking man walks in the front door.
Yeah, so he's we're eating our bangers and mash, and as we're eating, the man dressed in Rannis livery walks in. He's got Rannis colors. He's very official looking, and he walks in and scans the room, but he doesn't go to the bar. He's not there for pleasure. He is there for business. He locks eyes on one of us and approaches our table. So he comes and introduces himself. He's a rep of the Lord of the Castle, Lord Gult, and he asks us if we are mercenaries. And so we kind of have to make a really quick decision.
I don't think we ever answer his name. We answer his question. We just kind of ask, like, what do you want? Like, it's like, are you mercenaries? Well, what do you want?
Yeah. So we look at each other and make a really quick decision whether or not we are mercenaries, and we decide yes, we are. But basically what he needs is Lord Gult's men are indisposed at the moment. They all are fighting.
Because of the shit hitting the fan that we had touched on briefly.
Yep. So they require men-at-arms to make contact with their neighboring town called Ravenheart. But not only to make contact, but they need to find out what exactly is going on there, because they keep sending people to do this, and they're not returning. The people that they're sending aren't returning. And they're like, this is weird. We need to figure out what's happening. So we need to send people over there, specifically, like, capable people, to find out where these people are going. So we're like, well, we take a vote. The only person who doesn't want to go is Ileana.
Yep. Pretty much.
Everybody else seems fine with it, so they're like, let's give her a try. See what happens. So we agree to do it on one condition, that we get silver weapons, because we're fucked if we don't have silver weapons.
Basically, what Nurhaz says that he would like a contract drawn up because he's a dwarf. He's very businesslike. So he has, draw up a contract, and so that we can see clearly what what our job would entail and what you're paying, right? Because he said you guys will be rewarded handsomely by my lord. And we're like, okay, well, we don't really know the details of this job, and we don't know how much we're getting paid. So drop a contract, and we'll meet you at the armory to talk it over, right? And he's like, perfect, So after we say, yeah, sure, we'll look into it, we set up a meeting with him. So basically, he leaves to draw up that contract, and I guess meet with his lord, and says to meet him at the armory. We quickly, gather what stuff we need. We leave most of our belongings over there because we won't be gone for long, and we head to the armory, where we meet with the quartermaster, and we procure the silver weapons, because that was one of the things that we knew. Ravenheart being close to the forest, if anything like the Basilisk incident that from the last town we were in, we would need some stuff. So that was that. During our perusal of the armory, though, we get interrupted by said 3 members.
Yeah, so we hear 3 sets of footsteps while we're in the armory, and we look to see who it is, and there is one, a large knight in like half plate armor, a guy with a peg leg, and the official guy from earlier. Now, the peg leg guy has horrible scarring on the right side of his body, and a steel hand.
What?
He has like basically a mech arm, which we've never seen before. This is weird, and it actually, I don't know.
He has a half cloak that covers it, but we find out that there's a mech arm in there.
Yeah. So it was just, I don't know if it was just you or one of us or all of us noticed this, but it kind of, like, the guy's arm reminded us of the Iron...
Yeah, Nurhaz. Because he went checked to see if he could feel magic from it, and Jeffrey said no magic, but it reminds you of that wandering the Iron Pilgrim, you came across by.
Yeah. So that was it. It tickles the memory.
It tickles.
That's what I wrote down.
Yes, indubitably. Yeah.
We get kind of briefed on what's going on there. They basically say if we can't find anyone in the town, like gather what information we can, and head back. Let them know.
There's oh man, this stuck out in my mind because it was like, I guess I was in like a really weird mood that night, or I guess it's just been like a really long time since I had to do anything. But surprisingly, Devril came off as very like confrontational and very egotistic. Like during the conference,
he was also really stoked on being a merc. He's like, oh, guys, we're dabbling in merc work. This is so fucking riveting. And he was
but during the conversation with the Lord, he showed a lot more confidence than he had. I don't know if I feel like I fucked up, but like,
maybe,
well, whatever.
You know what? Maybe Zyron has started eating him.
Anyway, there was some tense conversation between the Lord about the contract and what needed to happen. Devril became very edgy. He was Edril, not Devril. But basically, it's 100 gold pieces for our job to get information about Ravenheart, right? We were gonna go there, see what's happening, talk to the mayor. If worse comes to worse and the mayor's dead or like everyone's dead, find out what happened and then come back and then we'll get our shit, right?
Yeah.
Nurhaz tries to see if we can keep the weapons, but they're only on loan, so whatever. But 100 gold pieces.
You can't loan arrows.
Yeah, well,
I'm using shit.
Just hide them. Yeah, just fucking
That bodice.
Yeah, that the bodice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. So basically, we don't dally. We want to get to Ravenheart as fast as possible. It's about mid-morning now as we saddle up the horses and exit through the southern gate of Raynar on our way to Ravenheart. Now, as we leaving the city halls, Captain Legs already said, Devril has a kind of chuckle to himself about both Ilyana and Andrew are a little worried about the laughing, thinking that it might be Zyron.
Like,
but
not now.
Yeah, but Ilyana, approaches Devril and asks, what he finds so amusing. It is Devril, and he's just saying that he never expected himself to be a mercenary. So if he does have to give up being adjudicator because of the Inquisitor or shit catching up to him, he can be a mercenary and he can still help people, which is that's his outlook on it. Val sends Kuro ahead of us to scout out, and about lunchtime, after we hit the road after lunch, she enters the trance as Kuro approaches the city or the town. Now, unlike Woodside, which was the town that was near the forest, it was like a lumbering town. This town is different. They don't have wooden walls, they have stone walls. It's really very close to a fortress. And we had found out before taking the job, Devril was able to ask the innkeeper of the Shattered Pint, to tell him a little bit about Ravenheart. And apparently it was, Ravenheart was built to keep an eye on the old elven capital city in that forest. Name is, I don't think I wrote the name down.
I did not either. Maybe.
Lethanar. The
Lethanar,
old, old, which was the old capital city of the elves before the war. It's now nothing but ruins, but the humans still really wary, want to keep an eye on it, and so the city kind of grew. It's Kuro. As Kuro's flying in, mist and fog start rolling in, and he almost runs into flies into the stone wall of the city, swerves out of the way, and he flies over the town, and it's very eerily quiet. Everything's foggy. He doesn't see any movement in the town. He does see that the houses are boarded up, and some of the houses have light coming through them, but not all. And that's pretty much all he sees, since it is so foggy. So, Val breaks the trance, lets us know, and, within the next few hours, we would be seeing Ravenheart, but the fog and the mist start rolling in. So with that, when we reach that point, I think Nurhaz and Devril dismount and take it a little bit slowly, because you literally can't see more than like 5 feet in front of your face. After another couple hours, the sun's going down, they reach the gate of Ravenheart.
Yeah, so we get there, and the fog is still very thick. It's so hard to see. But Holo notices some movement out of the corner of her eye, and she looks, and there's like swirls of fog, but she doesn't see anything, like any concrete thing there. So she's like, that's weird. Something must have just run by. And yeah, in the meantime, we're kind of just adjusting to the new scenario. Deverell takes it upon himself at this time to get relationship advice from Andrew. He asks him if Ileana has been acting weird, but Andrew says he doesn't seem different. And then Andrew asks Deverell about Siren.
I totally forgot if this conversation even...
Because all I wrote was he asks him about Zyron, but I don't know which one asked about which. So I feel like it was Andrew that asked Deverell about Zyron.
No, I feel like it was... No,
it was Deverell that asked
Deverell asked, yeah.
Because then I wrote down Andrew doesn't know.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but...
I don't remember the conversation, so...
Yeah,
sure.
But yeah, it is quite cold. The winter solstice is on the 15th. It is now the 5th.
It is now the...
No, it's the 6th. It would be the...
5th.
It was the 5th.
The night of the 5th.
Oh, you're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
night
it's
of the
5th. 5th of Zephthyn.
Lefthen.
Oh, it looks like a Z. Okay, yeah. Lefthen. 5th of Lefthen. Jesus fuck. Yeah, the solstice is in 10 days. It's on the 15th. Yep. It's called the Soul's Harvest. And, yeah, just a little tidbit of things. So, Andrew catches, wait. I'm reading the wrong page.
See? My notes were spread across 2 pages, too.
Okay. So.
Yes. We are looking at the gate. If you want a benchmark, we arrive at the gate.
I got it. Yes, the gates are closed. It's okay, thick fog. Holo sees shit in the corner of her eye. Yep. Swirly fog.
Yeah.
That happened. Ignore what I said about Deverell. Because that happened last time. That's
why I was wondering. I was like, I don't remember that conversation ever happening.
My pages.
All right.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Gates are closed. They're chained shut. Val decides to cast a spell. She sings, and the 2 chains. Wait, no. The chains frost. The 2 chains. What the fuck? The chains frost and break.
Yeah. Okay. That's what happens. But this is after some struggling on Nurhaz and Deverell's part. All right. So like the main big gate, like we try to push through. We hear change on the other side. We go to the mini gate, the man-made size gate. Right, the one that has the little slidey bar thing.
Yeah.
And we try to push on that too, and it's both barred and we hear chains rattling. Right. So, we Nurhaz is like, well, whatever. So he takes his fucking battle axe, and where the slit goes, the thinnest part of the wood, he bashes that and creates a little hole. Right. He creates a little hole. So Nurhaz is like, well, I'm too short. Deverell, can you look to see what's on the other side of the door? So Deverell goes and looks through the hole that's in the slit, and he can't really see much of the town since all the fog. But if you look straight down, he can see that indeed it's barred and chained and some weird stuff. Right. So he takes Deverell takes his gauntlet off and reaches through the door to try to lift the barred part up and over. And he does, because Deverell's been working out those finger muscles. All right. He's been working out. Which lets the door open just a little bit, because now it's not barred by the piece of wood. It's just chained. And Nurhaz tries to cut the chains, but he can't really fit his axe in the tiny wedge. So both Nurhaz and Deverell look over to the rest of the group and make a sarcastic remark about knowing a magic trick, to which
Val's
Andrew,
like, I fucking got it.
yeah, Andrew uses this as a teaching lesson for Val,
Yeah.
and gets her to problem solve it. Val sings, turns the chains into ice, and Nurhaz gives them a little poke, and they crumble. And we enter the city. Basically, we make a makeshift tie up for the horses, and we enter the city. Basically, we close, or Nurhaz closes the gate, the gate behind us, and puts the bar back, just the wooden piece of bar to make sure. And we find an alley to go down. We don't get very far from the gate when we hear a scrape and a clack. I think this is what Jeffrey did. He went, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a dragging and then a clang of a drop. And we rush back to the gate, and the gate's open. The door's open, and the wooden bar is on the ground. The horses are spooked, and Devril goes and calms the horses down. Nurhaz examines the bar, and there is gigantic claw marks on the wooden bar that held the door. So we're pretty fucked up because we don't know if something left or something came in. Like, it just we'd have no idea.
Yeah.
So we're just like, well, fuck. We feel like we fucked up. So let's just continue onward. So yeah, we close the gate again, and we go down the lane, or an avenue, and Devril approaches the first house that has a little bit of light at it. He's cautiously approaches and knocks on the door. There's some movement at the door, and there's a guy that comes in. He sees the guy peeking outside the window. As soon as that happens, Devril removes his helmet to try to talk to the guy. He wants us to leave. He says, "Get out of here. You shouldn't be outside." Devril asks what's going on. He says he has no idea, but people have been getting killed. It's killed every night. It's basically it has kept all the townsfolk imprisoned. People who have tried to leave even during the daytime, they never hear from again. So they've been stuck. It's basically that it's dangerous going out. It's especially dangerous at night, and we should get out. Devril says that, their lord sent us, and we're here to help, and, we'll do our job. It's basically it. We continue down the lane, and some houses are not boarded up and have their doors ajar. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
I just want to talk now.
Oh yeah. You can. Yeah. Sorry. You can.
Roll.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You can carry on with the conversation.
Yeah. So we do come across an abandoned house. So we go in just to see what it's all about. The house has been torn to absolute shreds. Like, it's in shambles. There's claw marks, there's blood, but there are no bodies. But it just looks like the worst possible murder happened in here. So we continue along, and we find another house with like a flickering light that's been boarded up and stuff. So Devril knocks on the door to this one, and almost immediately, or he goes to knock on the door, but does he actually make contact?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, he goes to knock on the door. Just as he's about to make contact, it opens and a hand grabs him and pulls him inside. And Nurhaz keeps the door from closing. and Deverell falls inside and lands on top of a man, a middle-aged man. And
It wasn't a beautiful woman, unfortunately. This is no ecchi slice of life anime. Feels
nope,
bad.
and he didn't land on him with his hands.
Honest, no.
Yeah, that didn't
Unlucky.
happen. None of that shit happened. Sorry, Deverell. Yeah, so the guy is the alderman of the town. Um, all of this started, like, we asked him a few questions. He basically tells us that, like, all of this started about a week or so ago. All the disappearances, all the blood, the nightly murders. The watchmen, they their bodies were burned. But they like burned the pieces of them because they were torn to shreds as well. Basically what happens is whoever's murdering these people targets like 1 or 2 houses per night. And as we're having this conversation, Andrew actually asks us to look out the window.
The come look at this cliche.
Yeah, you should look at this. Now, barely visible out the window is a figure near us, just standing out there in the open. It's a tall, lithe figure dressed in chainmail, just like one long shirt. And so all this time, Val has gone into her trance. Like, her eyes have gone completely white and she sees things in a sickly green, like we did at the watchtower with the whole elven thing.
She can see spirits.
Yeah,
basically
so
she has spirit vision.
Yeah, spirit vision. Night vision.
Night vision. Yeah,
now, so she does see the same thing as we do. She sees this guy, but clearer in her vision. He's an elf for sure. He's very handsome, but he has black eyes, and we're pretty sure that it's dead. And if it's not dead, it's dying.
The way Jeff described it is he seems to be full of life at one moment, and then like dead.
And then he
like he just like turns that white, the white deathly look, and then goes back into being looking alive and have rosy cheeks, and then waxes and wanes is what I wrote down.
Yes, super gross. So Deverell goes to open the door, and as he goes to do this, the elf just turns and leaves. There's no confrontation. He just pieces out. So we decide to leave the alderman because this seems like a thing we should follow. Of course, something that, dies and then comes back to life right in front of our eyes. Yeah, we should check that out. So we go outside and we follow the lane. And there are no footprints, but the lane does let out in front of a church.
Of course, it's a church.
Course, yeah, and the door is open. Do you want to take it from here?
All right. So there's light coming out of the church. So the candles are lit. As we approach and we go through the double doors of the church, 2 figures have their backs turned towards us, and they're at the altar, and they seem to be fiddling with something on the altar. And just having a pleasant conversation with each other. One appears to be the said handsome elf, and the other beside him seems to be an elven woman. And they are just pleasantly chatting. He'll say something, and she chuckles, and they continue having this conversation. Deverell approaches them and is the first one to speak, and says that they should explain themselves before this in case a misunderstanding happens, to which it was the elven woman, right, turns around and kind of laughs at him.
It's like a shrill, like, evil laugh. I thought of it a lot like Jessie from Team Rocket. Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe a bit more sinister.
Yeah. She does this whole very sultry, seductive, but very menacing walk towards Devril as she's ripping pages out of the like the holy book, like the Bible of Raethborne. So yeah, she's ripping and then ends to her statement just by ripping the book in half. It doesn't take very long, and the fight starts.
One sec. Val actually does like hymn of shared thought with
that's
male
right.
elf. He allows her into his mind.
And she gets fucked up.
Yeah, he looks directly at her with his weird black eyes, and horrific scenes assault her mind. He just shows her all this like blood and carnage and murder and all of these people dying, like everyone he ever killed in this town, and then some.
She likes it.
He smiles, and for some reason, somewhere in the back of her mind, it is quite alluring to her. She wants it, but she pushes him out of her mind, and he says, "I am you." She replies, "I'm not you." Yeah. Oh, and then the female walks down, ripping the thing in half, and she laughs again. Her laugh is joyful and horrible, is how Jeff described it, and she goes, "Ha ha ha, people." And
right. Oh, right, because Devril asked if he only asked them the one question, and he said if they do you have anything to do with the deaths of those people. Yeah. And that's she laughs and she says people. And the fight happens. She stays like that. She fights with a rapier and the parry dagger along with a rapier.
We honestly thought that a few of us were gonna die.
It was bad. This was our belated Halloween episode or session. The man turns into a beast. Like this weird...
Ew, this like weird, long, gross thing that like human bodies don't stretch that way. Yeah. Like he was fucked.
Or even elven bodies. It was like, it reminds me of the not the Wendigo. Yeah, Wendigo.
Reminds you of the ghouls, kind of.
Like, what's that movie? Or not movie, the game Dead by Daylight? Dead by Daylight? I think.
Sure.
Whatever. Anyway, he just stretches out in the forelimbs, has huge fangs, white teeth, stretched leathery skin, like it's gross. Like he fucked. We got you faint.
Oh yeah, I fainted for like
5 hours. You're still down.
So I
what
come to.
Oh, that's her, right? She cast something.
Oh no, I like critical failed my fear test.
That's right.
And I had...
Because he changed, had the fear, because he's, a woodland monster, right? He's a forest monster.
Yeah, I feeded it or something, because the first roll that I did, I would have died of fear. Like, I would have been scared, literally scared to death. Yep. So I feeded it, and it was still, like, really bad. I gained, like, I don't know, 6 to 10 insanity points or something like that, which is fine because I'm collecting them.
They're not Pokemon cards.
I almost died.
Yeah, that was fucking close. So yeah, you passed out right there. Hollow gets like -10 to everything, which that sucks too. But she's there. The fight ensues. I rolled really badly. I almost got fucked. That's right. Nurhaz got mind controlled, and that's one of the reasons why I almost got fucked. Yeah. Because I was fighting the beast and Nurhaz just wailing away at me. So that was really bad. But basically Nurhaz finally snaps out of it, helps Devril take on the big beast. Hollow dies, but Hollow gets her arm chopped off, and she's laying there bleeding out. She turns into
almost
a wolf.
Dies completely. Yes,
yeah, she burns a fate. Yeah, she burns
Yeah.
a fate point, turns into a wolf, fucks up that the lady elf, like fucks her up. Devril finally he cleaves the guy elf in half, and the fight closes, comes to an end. She withers and ages all in the same time. Like she was young and very attractive lady elf, and then she just turns into this old haggard thing until she turns to dust. The guy elf, he seems to dissolve into like a puddle of like acid as he just burns, like he just melts from the inside. Yeah, and the fight ends there.
Yeah. Now Holo is still in wolf form. She paces the ground just to ensure that the bodies are like done, and are completely dead. And once she confirms this, she changes back into a human without her left arm. It was her left arm that got ripped off. So yeah, without her left arm, she changes back into a human.
She's not bleeding anymore though. But it's not healed.
She goes unconscious. Yeah. She faints. Yeah. Because wolf. Yeah. And she's also naked.
Time to ask Andrew to regrow the limb again.
Yeah, I mean he did it one time.
Yeah,
he did the leg.
You can do it again, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that was our Halloween. Yeah, that was our belated Halloween session.
Yes.
It's so funny too, because like Jeff didn't think that we would have that that hard of a time, but it was just super fucking bad rolls and just getting fucked, like super fucked. But with all that said, I will tease, because you guys definitely need to be there Sunday. I just finished, before Recap Thursday, I actually finished messaging Jeff, and there is something very, very special happening next session.
Oh my god.
And if you need, your big hint is Zyron next session. So this Sunday.
Well, fuck! I don't want to deal with him.
No.
I don't want.
You're still unconscious for like 4 more hours. Yeah. So like, it's good. So guys, be there on Sunday for our Sunday RPG around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because it gets better. I'm really happy. That's all I think. It's hopefully I can deliver. But yeah, that's going to be really exciting news. Some more intrigue. So
stick around for a bit, because I want to show you guys what I got at Fan Expo.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
some of this stuff anyway.
All right. Yeah. Well, with that, we'll see you guys on Sunday.